What is up, everybody? Today I got a new life story for you, and this is a pretty fun story to tell, actually. This is about one of the first times that I hit a lick on somebody, and essentially, if you don't know what hitting a lick is, it's pretty much when you rob somebody, I guess. But pretty much how the story starts out, it was just a normal day for me, and I was chatting with one of my friends, and he wanted to hang out with me, which is perfectly fine. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll hang out with you. But the thing was, is that he lived quite a far walk away, so we kind of had to like meet up in the middle. It was about an hour walk for both of us, because he lived literally it was like a 2-hour walk away. But anyway, on the walk there, I got a message on my phone, and it was this girl, and I'm not gonna say her name or anything. I'm gonna protect her identity. But this girl messaged me and said that she needed some weed. She wanted to buy some weed from me. At the time, I was perfectly fine with that because I was selling weed, and pretty much what happened was I said, yes, I'll sell you some weed. What do you need? And she said, yeah, I need 6 grams. I have $60. So immediately I was like, oh shit, this is going to be one of the biggest deals that I've ever made. Because at the time, I wasn't really a big drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer anymore, by the way, just to point that out. But at the time, I was selling weed, and she said that she needed 6 grams, and that's $60. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, because usually I'm used to only selling 1 to 3 grams, typically, which is either $10 to $30, $10 a gram. And pretty much, she says that she needs 6 grams, so I get the idea that I'm going to message my friend and say, hey, this girl wants to give me $60 for some weed. Do you want to hit a lick? And if you know my friend, if you ever meet him, you'll understand that he is completely on board when it comes to, doing this sort of thing. He just it's just in his personality. He just loves to just do that sort of thing. And so obviously he was completely on board with hitting a lick on this girl. So what ended up happening was me and my friend, we ended up meeting up, and we were in front of the store, and we just started talking, trying to come up with a plan. And the girl that we were going to meet up, or the girl that I was going to meet up with to sell the weed to, she actually lived only a couple houses down from where we were at. She was really, really close. So we came up with the plan. Pretty much what was going to happen was that I was going to meet up with her, and I was going to tell her what the deal is, tell her what deals I have and tell her what she's getting, this and that. And then my friend was going to hide in the background and then act like he was just a complete and total stranger. All right, because she didn't know that we were friends. She didn't even know who my friend was. So basically what we did was I met up with this girl, and she gave me the money, and I said, hey, we got to go down a couple houses to get the weed because my friend is holding it for me. We got to go down there and get it. And she was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, it's not even that far. It's just a couple houses. And then she's like, okay, well, and then we started walking. And once we started walking, I had to give my friend a signal to kind of come up. But basically what the signal was I had to pull out my phone and then make a fake phone call and then put it up to my ear and talk to the dealer that I wasn't actually talking to. I wasn't even in a phone call. But I was pretty much pretending that I was on the phone with my dealer and telling him what's up, telling him how much I'm getting and this and that. And the signal was that I had to nod my head, and that was the signal for him to come up and pretty much rob me and take the money and run. So what ended up happening was I was on my phone and we were walking, and then once we got a little bit further past the girl's house, I gave that little head nod, and then that signaled him to come up and, rob us. So what he did was he started coming up from behind us on the other side of the street. He acted like he knew me. He acted like we had some problems, and he was going to try to swing on me and this and that. So basically what he did was he yelled my name across the street and ran up and then pushed me. We tried to make it as legit as possible, so he had to actually, inflict some damage, otherwise it wouldn't work out. So pretty much what he did was he pushed me and then, hit me a couple of times. It wasn't really, really hard because, we're friends. He's not going to try to hurt me, but he just needed to make it look real. So basically I had the money in my hand, and he came up and pushed me, and I dropped the money. I dropped it straight on the sidewalk, and then he takes a couple of swings and then grabs the money off the sidewalk and bolts. He goes straight, full speed, down the street, and then makes a sharp turn in the yard, and then, he was gone. So basically what I was doing was I acted like that it was a complete surprise, and I got up real fast, and I started yelling at him, and I chased him. And I chased him for a good minute. what ended up happening was it wasn't really a chase after a couple seconds. Once we got far enough away from the girl, we ended up just running together, like right next to each other. And we were just running and running and running, just trying to get as far away as possible. And we ended up getting a couple of streets down, and I ran into my cousin. He's actually a really close friend of mine now, but my cousin, you know, he started talking to us, and I told him what we did, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And then he said, "Hey, if you actually have that money, I have a guitar for sale." So pretty much what we did was I was like, "Yeah, me and my friend sorted out the money and stuff," and essentially I ended up splitting with my friend. Well, after a while, because you know I'm not just gonna bail on my friend, but pretty much after a couple hours of us hanging out, I ended up leaving and then going to my cousin to buy this guitar. And it was actually a really nice guitar. It was an Epiphone Special too, and I'll throw a picture up on screen so you guys can get a look of what that looks like. But you know, I bought that for $25, because me and my friend split the money 30-30, because it was only $60. So I ended up paying my cousin $25 for this guitar. And after he gave me the guitar, he was like, "Hey, you still have $5 extra?" And I said, "Yeah." So we ended up walking a little bit to his dealer's house because he wanted to smoke some weed. And I was like, hell yeah, I was completely on board because I love smoking weed. But pretty much he had $5 and I had well, actually, I had $5 left over and he had $25. So he thought, you know, hey, why don't we just go buy some weed and you can have the guitar. And I said, all right, bet. And we go and we get some and we start smoking and we're just doing what we do and we're just hanging out. And this girl the entire time is blowing up my phone, just absolutely blowing up my phone, saying, "Hey, what the fuck happened? You know, where are you? What's going on? Who was that guy?" And this and that. And I just kept playing it off like, I don't know who he is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where he went, this and that. And I said, if I find him, I'll give you your money back. And I completely lied to her. I said, if I can't find your money, I'll just give you weed. Which, this was months ago when I still have not paid her back. And she doesn't talk to me anymore. So I think we're in the clear. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story that I have for you. It's a fun story to tell. It was a really interesting part of my life, I guess. It was something that, you know, like it's really, you really shouldn't do this to people. It's really a dick move, but who's stopping you, right? So yeah, basically that's the story I have for you. If you did enjoy this video, you know, you can leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video if you're there. So, see ya. I'm an icon, man. My girl about a 10. I should fuck her in the Benz. Niggas say they run my town, don't know how I'm the prince here, man. All we talk about is